Imagine strapping into a Formula 1 car, feeling every jolt, turn and rumble as if you're Verstappen or Leclerc racing right there on the racetrack. That's exactly what you can experience playing Formula 1 in VR. I played it using my Pimax Crystal Light virtual reality headset, a motion rig by DOF Reality, and my brand new Club Sport steering wheel F1. And this is as close to real-life F1 racing as it gets, and anyone can set it up in their home. I'll talk about each one of my immersive setup components in this video, starting with the magic behind it all, a virtual reality headset. I always choose Pimax Crystal Light to play immersive sims because it is a true powerhouse when it comes to visual quality. I mean, where do I even begin? For starters, it features the resolution of 2880 by 2880 per eye, which gives you an incredibly sharp and detailed picture, which is without exaggeration the sharpest visual quality you will ever see in VR. I made the whole video reviewing Pimax Crystal, so I go into much more detail there, but what I want to mention is when it comes to flight or racing sims, the clarity is the most important factor here. You can't afford to have blurry edges, pixelated details, all that simply ruins the experience for you and you perform worse in the game. The clarity on Crystal Light allows you to see every tiniest detail of the car's dashboard, the track, and even the distant elements on the horizon without any blurriness or pixels, something I haven't been able to find in any other headset. This level of resolution enhances your ability to make precise maneuvers, as you're able to see the track clearly even at high speeds, and it definitely gives you a competitive edge in fast-paced races. And by the way, Pimax are hosting a competition where you can show off your racing rig and win iRacing gift cards. The link to learn more about the competition is in the description, and I will talk about it a little bit more at the end of this video. I will get a little bit technical on you with Pimax Crystal, so bear with me. But another feature of Crystal that's worth highlighting is the lenses. Display and lenses work in a combination. You can't talk about one without mentioning the other. Low-quality lenses can provide distortions, blurriness, and light reflections. Crystal packs expensive and high-quality lenses called aspheric lenses. They are also bulky, which is why the headset is so big. But this is the price you need to pay for this kind of clarity. With these aspherical lenses, the image remains sharp and consistent across the entire field of view. Literal edge-to-edge clarity with minimal distortions even at the edges. This is crucial when racing in F1, as it allows you to keep your focus and makes it easier to stay immersed and keep track of every detail on the track. Finally, in VR sim racing, it is important to have as large of a field of view as you can. Some immersive setups with motion rigs include multiple monitors to maximize your field of view. But in VR, even though you can turn your head around, essentially your view is limited, and the question is how much. Crystal has a rather large field of view of around 120 degrees, meaning there's a lot of the track that you can see, and it allows you to make quick decisions and see the stuff happening around you on the periphery, and that periphery stays clear and sharp at all times due to the quality lenses. All these things make Pimax Crystal Light an ideal VR headset for immersive sims. It is not perfect for all virtual reality experiences, like I wouldn't recommend to use it for active gaming or working out, but stationary experiences where you just sit in the cockpit of the spaceship or in a car in a racing sim, this is just what you need. For me, virtual reality will always top multiple monitors because nothing makes you feel as if you're physically present on the track like VR, and that allows better situational awareness and better performance on track. So VR actually makes you do better in the game. And now let me tell you about my motion rig. A motion rig is an essential piece of equipment for serious racers that allows your experience to go from just visually stunning to full-body immersive. And the one I chose is the DOF Reality H3 motion rig. The 3-axis motion system perfectly simulates the forces of acceleration, braking, and cornering. It doesn't just tilt you left or right, it adds a full range of motion that reflects the lateral and vertical forces as you take corners, hit bumps, or brake hard. When I hit a tight curve, I could feel the G-forces pull me to the side, and when I accelerated out of it, the rig pushed me back into the seat. It added a physical dimension to the game that VR alone simply can't provide. The DOF Reality Reality H3 is smooth yet responsive, making the transitions between movements feel realistic without being jarring. It's like being on a high-tech amusement ride that puts you in control of the race. The rig also allows you to customize the intensity of the settings, and this versatility ensures that it's not just a one-size-fits-all setup, but rather something you can adjust based on the game you're played and your personal comfort. In F1, this allows you to push the rig to reflect the fast-paced, intense nature of Formula 1 racing, and it makes it feel like you're really inside the car, fighting for every corner and lap time. But of course, no sim racing setup is complete without a top-tier steering wheel, and the Club Sport steering wheel F1 eSports didn't disappoint. The precision and feedback were phenomenal. Every turn of the wheel feels like it directly translates to the virtual car, and the tactile feedback from the direct drive wheelbase I also bought added a level of realism that's truly hard to describe. The resistance adjusted perfectly based on the in-game physics and allowed me to actually feel the weight of the car as I maneuvered it through different track conditions. This setup transformed my Formula 1 from just a game into a full-blown simulation that felt as close to real-life racing as it gets. With the Pimax Crystal Light's crystal-clear visuals, the motion rig's realistic motion feedback, and the steering wheel's precise handling, every race felt intensely immersive and physically engaging. It's not just about playing anymore, it's really about experiencing the sports from the driver's seat. If you're serious about sim racing, investing in a setup like this will not only enhance your gameplay, but also give you a genuine taste of what it's like to race as a pro. So more about that competition I mentioned earlier. If you join the Pimax Crystal Light Discord, you can enter by posting pictures of your racing sim setup. Every week a winner is selected among the participants and you get a chance to win an iRacing gift card. And honestly, it's just really fun to see all the people sharing their awesome motion rig setups. I was invited by Pimax to select the winners for the next week, so go on and submit your setups for me to choose. I can't wait to see them. And in the meantime, check out my full hands-on review of Pimax Crystal Light, where I go into much more detail talking about its specs and performance. It's definitely worth watching if you're interested in getting one. And I also tested the motion rig with Gran Turismo 7 on PSVR 2. This was my first ever sim racing with a rig, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I'll see you there.